Welcome, everyone. Today we have a special Faroese news report for you. Just a quick look at some recent developments in the North Atlantic.
That's right. We've gathered information from various sources, articles, letters, official statements.
And our aim here is really just to give you the key points, bring you up to speed on what's being reported in and around the Faroe Islands.
Exactly. We're focused on presenting the information neutrally. So we'll relay the opinions and facts as they appear in the sources, but without adding our own discussion or guesswork, just laying out what's been said.
Okay, sounds good. Let's start then. Segment 1 is on sports and public order. First up, a report from portal.fo about some trouble with Danish football fans, Brøndby fans, in Reykjavik.
Yes, this is after their team lost 3-0 to Vikingur in Iceland. Apparently, there was some unrest.
Unrest seems like an understatement if the damage estimate is right. Around 250,000 Danish kroner.
That's the figure reported, yeah.
Huh.
And apparently, specific incidents included, like overturning a toilet wagon. Viaplay supposedly had images.
And this is being escalated.
A report on the damages is going to be sent to UEFA. That's what the source says.
It's interesting, though, because the report also mentions the match was assessed as low risk.
It was, yeah, which apparently led to fewer police being there. Despite that, there was another incident where 2 Brøndby security guards needed an ambulance.
Oh, what happened there?
They got hit by pepper spray, seemingly by accident, while trying to break up a small fight in the stands.
Right. Now, the interesting part, especially for our listeners maybe, is comparing this to their visit to the Faroes just before that, on July 24th.
Totally different story reported there. In the Faroes, they were called peaceful animals. Some even said their walk through Tórshavn was like a funeral procession. It was so quiet.
Haha, peaceful animals. And it wasn't even the Brøndby fans causing issues in the Faroes, was it?
No, according to the report, some Faroes locals were actually fined for misconduct during the visit, not the fans themselves. And there was a very visible police presence in Tórshavn then.
So maybe context and policing make a big difference. Okay, let's move to our second segment, societal and political debates. We've got a reader's letter from VP by the Sjálvstýri Party and a piece from in.fo via the Trade Union Cooperation.
Okay, first, the Sjálvstýri Party, that's the self-government party. In this letter, they're quite critical. They say the Faroes are, quote, going completely off track socially.
Strong words. What do they mean by that?
They argue it's dividing the country into, the wealthy and those who are just struggling to get by.
And they want to change things.
Yeah, they say they want urgent access to power to find effective solutions for what they call a well-living, independent Faroe Islands for all.
They also take aim at current politicians.
They do. They claim politicians have lost touch with the ground. They even point to the Prime Minister's Olaseka speech as being, well, superficial in their view.
Do they give examples of this disconnect?
Yes. They mention a housing support proposal. It costs about 30 million DKK, but they say the plans aren't clear. And they contrast that with interest support, which costs way more, 130 million DKK estimated for 2025. But the government seems hesitant to change it.
So what's Sjálvstýri's idea instead?
Their proposal is to first restructure the interest support system to be more concrete and effective, and then bring in a fair housing support system that helps everyone.
And what about the political opposition? Are they offering alternatives, according to Sjálvstýri?
Well, Sjálvstýri criticizes the opposition, too, says they're unconstructive, offering no real alternatives and just fearing change to systems that create inequality.
How does the opposition view the government's housing plans based on this letter?
According to Sjálvstýri, the opposition worries people won't own homes anymore, that property rights will be limited. Sjálvstýri interprets this fear as the opposition basically accepting a society where some do well and others just scrape by.
So the letter ends with a call for a new direction.
Yes, prioritizing a just, livable society for everyone, which Sjálvstýri claims to stand for.
Okay, sticking with societal debates, but shifting gears slightly. In.fo reports on the trade union cooperation Fagfellabsamstarfi and their view on pensions.
Right. They're criticizing government plans to raise the pension age. They even bring up a past issue referencing a flat tax for the rich they claim was funded by workers' pensions.
And the current government coalition wants to raise the age.
That's what the union states. They say the coalition Jafnar Flucker and Joda Velby and Framsókn insists on it, maybe even up to age 70, which they feel was hinted at in the PM's Olaseka speech.
What's the union's main argument against it?
It boils down to workers pay into their own pensions, so they should control that money. They calculate that raising the age could cost an average worker over 1 million DKK in lost pension payments
A million, wow. How do they figure that?
from their own pension savings, the national pension, and Samhällsfasta. Plus, they say workers would face extra costs from working 3 more years paying more income tax, fees, and pension pre-taxation, adding up to nearly 500,000 DKK extra paid out.
So they want security.
Secure frameworks, yes, including for the pension age. They also point out there's already a system in place,
Oh, what system is that?
one that allows the pension age to go up gradually half a year every 5 years, with political checks along the way.
So their request is essentially,
Stick to the existing law, stop playing with pensions, as they put it, and drop plans to raise the age beyond what's already allowed.
okay, let's move to our third segment, economic sectors and infrastructure. This is based on an address by Minister Johan Christensen, reported in Lezer and Logo. He covers fisheries and transport.
Right. Starting with fisheries, the minister gives a positive report overall. Says this year has been very good, actually. Some boats have already caught more than they did in all of 2024.
And why is that? Better stocks.
He attributes it to the stock management plans and reduced fishing days having an effect. The goal, he mentioned, is to get back to catching 20,000 to 40,000 tons of cod annually on the shelf, up from the current 5,000 or so.
But there's a downside to the system now.
Yeah, the fishing day system is actually causing some vessels to be laid up because they've used their days. He mentions a Group 4T vessel being tied up until October 1st. He called it a bitter pill for the fishermen.
That's tough. He also says something interesting about the system itself.
He did. He stated that the fishing day system is now, for the first time, really working as proper stock management. Which is interesting because, well, that wasn't always the claim.
So hold steady now.
That's the message. Hold fast. Don't ease the pressure. Protect the stocks, even if demand is high.
What about other fish? Safe?
Safe fishing has improved, apparently allowing that part of the fleet to renew. There's talk about twin trawling for Safe 2 could mean less oil used, better quality fish, maybe better wages. But they need to figure out how it fits with the fishing day system to keep stocks safe.
Any concerns there?
Yes, a specific one. Half the safe caught this year are young fish, 4th year or smaller. Some haven't even spawned. The minister has asked Vern and Hofstede and the inspection and research bodies for solutions.
Okay. Anything else on marine resources? Salmon farming?
The government's prioritized research into its impact on small fish and the ecosystem near land. Basically, they feel there isn't enough knowledge right now.
And red algae or tuna?
Old trial permits expired. There's apparently strong interest in red algae seen as a potential oil. New trial applications might come in late 2025. Tuna trial fishing hasn't happened.
Got it. Shipping to infrastructure, what about the patrol boats?
Vern's vessels, Chaldry and Brimmel, are getting old, 49 and 25 years respectively. So more maintenance needed. A replacement for Chaldry is planned, and Brimmel needs 10 weeks of work in summer 2025.
And ferries, coastal transport.
Fleet renewal is happening. 2 new ships are designed for the Kalsoy and the Svinøy-Fugløy routes. The Kalsoy ferry should go to tender next year, 2025.
Lots happening on the water. What about roads? Any progress there?
Quite a bit reported. The Famjens tunnel opened just this past June. A new route to Delur is expected in 2025. And the Tjørnvik tunnel design is due this year, with construction starting in 2026.
The minister had some personal thoughts on the Tjørnvik Road too, didn't he?
He did. Called it traffic chaos, unsafe for locals, hard for emergency services. He actually suggested closing roads like Tjørnvik, Jog, and Saksen to tourist cars unless they have Faroese ID.
Wow, really? And use buses instead.
Yeah, set up a tourist bus service. That was his suggestion. Quite a specific one.
He also mentioned the general state of the roads.
Acknowledged it's poor. Used the Eldavik Road as an example, like a washboard. Work starting there after summer. Also mentioned dangerous spots in Göteborg near Agni getting fixed this year.
But there's a big backlog overall.
Huge. Estimated 400–500 million DKK just for road maintenance, many needing full reconstruction. And another 500 million DKK backlog for public buildings. So the total maintenance deficit on public assets is nearing 1 billion kroner.
That's staggering. So the hope is more funding.
That's what the minister expressed hope for, significantly more money for maintenance in the coming years, alongside keeping focus on fisheries and stock care.
Okay, let's move into our fourth segment, which covers international relations and activism. This section includes some very strongly worded opinions reported in the sources. We have VP on Sea Shepherd and readers' letters from Sjur Askale in VP and Oli Breckman in Lezer and Logo.
Right. First, Sea Shepherd. They're reportedly targeting the 2027 Island Games, which are due to be held in the Faroe Islands,
Targeting how?
trying to get the Isle of Man and other participants to boycott the Games. The reason cited is the Faroes whale hunt, the Grinda drop.
And what's Sea Shepherd's argument?
Isle of Man Today quotes them saying the whaling cannot be silenced, and it undermines the game's spirit of compassion, cohesion, and respect.
How has the Games Association responded?
The International Island Games Association says they won't get involved in things like this. Their focus is on friendship through sport.
Okay. Next, a reader's letter by Sjurdur Skalli. This one addresses comments made by Kari Sverrisson.
Yes, Skell is criticizing Sverrisson for reportedly comparing the Israeli flag to the swastika.
That's a heavy comparison. What was Sverrisson's reported reasoning?
According to Scale's letter, Sverrisson claimed the flag represents an ideology of a superior people, worthless humans, supports a colonialist and racist apartheid regime, and commits ethnic cleansing. Sverrisson apparently called for de-Israelification.
And Skal's counter-argument.
Skal argues the flag represents Israel's history, the nation today, including Druze, Christian, and Arab citizens. He calls it the only free parliament in the Middle East, with diverse views, even internal criticism of the Gaza war.
So flags represent everything, good and bad.
That's Scale's point, especially in democracies. He feels demonizing the flag plays into Hamas's agenda. He also questions Sverrisson's sources, like historian Elon Pape,
How does he describe Pape?
as highly controversial among scholars, active in anti-Israel work, and driven more by agenda than facts, in Scale's view.
Skal also commented on communism.
Yes, he criticized Sverrisson's description of it as not always a paradise. Scale asserts it was always a hell, responsible for huge numbers of deaths, and notes some former supporters now align with the pro-Palestine movement, as he terms it.
Okay, now for the third piece in this segment, an article by Ollie Breckman from Luzzer and Logo. The title is Trump, Bibi, and the Fight Against Jihad.
Yes, this is a very strongly opinionated piece. Breckman starts by expressing gratitude for Donald Trump and Benjamin Netanyahu, Bibi, and says, God have mercy on us against Hamas.
He criticizes some Faroese figures quite harshly.
Extremely harshly. He calls politician Engelen, uses terms like clone of Greta Thunberg, climate fascist, and accuses her of supporting Hamas by wanting the Faroes embassy in Israel closed. He also criticizes writers Kamban and Carly for focusing on Putin, but not other leaders he names, and for admiring politicians like Obama, Biden, and Hillary, whom he calls socialist lumps.
He mentions specific incidents, too.
Yes. An alleged past trip by Carly to communist Albania, where he was supposedly arrested.
Yeah.
And he criticizes Kamban's book on anti-Semitism for, in Breckman's view, ignoring Nazism's roots as a form of socialism.
What's his main thesis about the current global situation?
He claims Marx jihadists, his term for socialists and Islamists, spread hate against Israel and Jews after October 7th, 2023. He praises Trump and Bibi for, quote, bombing Fordo and Natanz to rubble, which he claims stopped Iran getting nuclear weapons and saved Israel, Europe, and the U.S.
His philosophy is peace through strength.
Yes, citing Roman philosophy. He claims Trump achieved more than anyone since Reagan, Thatcher, and Bibi, and will make Putin retreat. He also suggests the Nobel Committee would rather award Khamenei or Kim Jong-un than Trump.
He sees Bibi as doing necessary work.
Yes, the dirty work, as he puts it, against various groups in Gaza, Syria, Lebanon, Yemen, and Iran for Arab and Western nations. He also claims Trump forced NATO allies to double defense spending to 5% of GDP.
More criticism for European leaders.
Calls them weak on Russia, letting Putin flay Europe. He accuses these Marx jihadist lumps of demanding Israel make peace with Hamas, even though he claims Hamas uses human shields.
He makes claims about Hamas using aid money.
Yes, that Hamas, with UN support, built schools and hospitals as weapon shields. He compares the situation to WWII, saying the Allies demanded unconditional surrender from Hitler and Tojo. They didn't offer peace or drop food.
And Trump's stance, according to Breckman?
Hamas must disarm and release all hostages unconditionally.
Breckman feels Israel isn't appreciated.
Claims they got no thanks for fighting on 5 fronts and are now pressured to stop without winning. He criticizes European calls for a 2-state solution with East Jerusalem as an Islamic capital, saying Palestinians rejected similar deals 5 times.
He mentions Arab countries' stance.
Says 5 Arab nations asked Hamas to disarm, but none will accept Palestinian refugees. He states Hamas's goal is Israel's elimination and creating a rat's nest state. He accuses the UK, Norway, France, Spain, Ireland, and Canada of supporting this.
And his view on media coverage.
Accuses Western media, including KVF, the Faroese broadcaster, of uncritically using what he calls Jew-hating, even Hamas-affiliated sources. He uses extremely derogatory nicknames for specific KVF journalists and hopes the political era of Obama, Biden, and KVF is over.
Okay, that was a lot of strong views reported there. Let's move to our final segment, Language and Education Critiques. This comes from a reader's letter by Gunnar Skuvadal in vp.fo.
Right. Skuvadal is writing about what he sees as a decline in Faroese language skills. He's particularly focused on grammatical errors.
What kind of errors?
Specifically, the use of grammatical cases. In Faroese, the case of a noun can change depending on the preposition used, and he argues people are getting it wrong, changing the meaning, like using via with incorrectly to mean together with when it should mean against or connecting to.
And he feels these are serious mistakes.
Yes, factual errors, he says, regardless of who makes them, even academics or theologians. He then uses some extremely strong language to describe people he believes make these errors. Well, the letter includes terms like godless, Darwinist, Hamas-supporting, and a whole list of other very negative descriptions, calling them fools.
He also brings theology into it.
Yes, he criticizes a theologian for saying God like Noah for being tolerant. Skuvadal insists the Bible, Genesis 7.1, says Noah was righteous and calls tolerance a false EU concept preparing for an antichrist New World Order.
Politicians get criticized, too.
For grammatical mistakes, yes. Specifically, getting the gender of nouns wrong, like Samrosen Garnier instead of Samrosen Gardner. He sees young people making similar errors with words like Ruckning Garnier, bills.
And what does he believe is the root cause of this decline?
He links it directly to people turning from God, embracing godless human learning, being poisoned by Darwinism, and studying in what he calls pagan Denmark.
He's not happy with the official language bodies either.
No, he criticizes the Faroese Language Council for accepting what he sees as incorrect grammar just because it's common. He thinks the public broadcaster, KVF, lets ignorance slide in language discussions and should rerun older, better programs.
He mentions portal.fo specifically.
Yes, calls it that error-filled portal.fo. Complaining about constant spelling mistakes, even in headlines, suggests the government should pay for proofreading it. He generally laments that young people, even trainee teachers, can't write Faroese properly.
So what's his solution? Stricter education?
Very much so. Turn off phones, go back to rote learning, use old textbooks. He even advocates for strict discipline, including corporal punishment, a boch rod or leather strap, citing his own positive experience in Shetland schools, which he claims made students good.
He blames modern teaching methods.
Yes, what he calls left-leaning pedagogical nonsense, which he believes has ruined morality and thinking ability.
And how does the letter conclude?
With a warning. He states Jesus is returning soon, WWII is starting, and urges people to convert Jesus.
Okay. That concludes our roundup of recent reports and opinions from various Faroese sources.
Like and subscribe to Paul's Fundamentals for more content like this. Sources linked.